The story begins by telling us all about humanity's 79 attempts to conquer the Tower of Trails. However, these attempts have led to the deaths of over 300,000 people. Now, there's less than an hour left till the destruction of mankind, and then we see everyone counting down their last moments on Earth. They look into their phones and discuss that there's no hope left for them as all the major guilds have given up on the future. Suddenly, we are taken to the 48th floor of the Tower of Trails, where a challenger named Kang Jin-hyuk enters the domains of the Red Dragon. He makes an epic appearance, and it gives hope to everyone who is watching the live broadcast. The number of viewers increased drastically to the thousands as the overpowered dragon makes a dreaded appearances in front of the challenger. He mocks his opponent by saying humans just don't know when to quit. However, Kang calmly looks at the dragon and says that he's going to turn him into a grilled lizard. This obviously angers the dragon, so he charges up and prepares to unleash a powerful fire blast. Kang doesn't even flinch, but rather says that he shouldn't give so much attention to an insect. An intense battle kicks off, with the dragon slamming its claws into Kang, but he evades the blow with ease. But he reassures him that he will present an even more painful death by virtue of his burning flames. It's time to walk the talk, so the dragon awakens his inner powers and unleashes a destructive fire blast that destroys everything in its path. However, even such a powerful blow is avoided by Kang, who simply jumps up into the air and mocks the dragon. He lands his first strike in rather impressive fashion and takes out one of the dragon's eyes in the process. This angers the beast, so he remains determined to kill Kang now more than ever. He uses his dragon breath move, but Kang isn't worried by it at all. Instead, he just relaxes and builds up his own magic to counter the dragon breath. Kang uses his memory of the world power to access a library with an unlimited supply of knowledge and skills. With this trick, he summons Hellfire and Black Tears as his counter moves against his opponent. The dragon mocks him for using such simple tricks to try and counter him. Instead, he decides to merge the skills together in order to kill the dragon. Kang fuses Hellfire and Black Tears and creates a whole new skill with an impressive display of bright visuals. The fusion becomes successful and unleashes a burst of energy that Kang believes is good enough to kill even a dragon. Our hero acquires the Breath of Etherian, the Dragon of Nothingness. The Red Dragon panics, because Etherian is an ancient-level dragon with legendary status. The Purple Dragon makes an appearance, and it makes the Red Dragon want to surrender. He demands to know how Kang got such epic powers, but our hero mocks him further by saying this isn't his first time killing him. That's when he reveals that he's a hardcore gamer. Now, we are taken to the real world, which is boring and monotonous, just like a trash game. That's when Kang comments on the Tower of Trails game and criticizes it for being a weak game with nothing special to offer. He goes on to explain that when this game came out, hardcore gamers tried their best to conquer it, even if it took them 365 days a year. Unfortunately, it took them 3 years to realize that the Tower of Trails was a game that could not be defeated. This is because the game has an invincible gate guard, polar temperatures so low that they could freeze anyone in an instant, and labyrinths spanning thousands of kilometers. Our hero is fed up with this game because he believes that it was made to torture those that played it. Kang slams his controller to the ground and explains that the game had crashed and burned after some time, but there were still some hardcore gamers who wanted to try and conquer it. Suddenly, we see the game's interface announcing that someone has finally reached level 50 and conquered the Tower of Trails. This special person happens to be Kang himself, and he took great pride in what he had accomplished. Using his existing knowledge, Kang would repeat the game multiple times so that he could come up with more original ways to clear it. This adventure lasted all of 11 years for our hero, and he is in disbelief to learn that he actually won it. Kang considers loading the stream onto YouTube, even though he still thinks this is a trashy game. However, he receives an alert that says the game is going through a reboot and will get updated soon. This makes Kang a little curious, because the company clearly doesn't seem to have any money. Regardless of whether the game changes or not, Kang has no intention of playing it again, because he has much better things to do. We get a better glimpse into our hero's life as he says he doesn't have a family to support, so he should quit being a streamer. He also mentions bunking sessions with his gym trainer so that he can take a break. Now, Kang opens up the window to his house and thinks about how important it is to earn money in this world. He checks out his live stream and considers telling his friends he wants to quit, but decides against it and has a drink. He figures he'll just post an announcement the next day and get it over with. He gets drunk and falls into his bed, after which he decides to upload the stream of him clearing the Tower of Trails. However, as he does this, Kang learns that the Tower of Trails has appeared in real life as well. Kang is unable to understand what is going on, so he goes to social media to check if this is true. That's when he learns that the news isn't a hoax, and multiple people are posting about it online. Now, our hero gets a message saying the first reboot of the game has been completed. It says that all the players need to complete the tower's 50 floors within 90 days. This message pops up on everyone's feeds, and they don't know what to make of it. Things get serious very quickly when the message says that humanity will perish if the players fail to accomplish this task. Kang has to keep his cool, as the message says that players need to adapt to reality well if they are to survive this. He quickly dresses up and heads out of his house in order to find a special item that will help him with the tower. Kang must act fast, because he is the only person who has cleared the game. The end of the world is looming, and the stakes excite Kang as he quickly makes his way towards the Tower of Trails. Panic sets in all over the central city, as the people try to get out of Korea while they can. However, the extent of the destruction is assumed to be global, so there really isn't anywhere to run or hide. Kang ignores these people and runs past them because he knows this is the time to step up. He enters an underground shopping arena, but is told that this has become an event arena. All the people over here have played the Tower of Trails, and they look visibly nervous. The voice announces that the special item is going to make an appearance very soon. Kang catches the attention of a man named Lee Jong-soo, who is also a streamer, although he is much more popular than Kang, with a subscriber base of over 500,000. Lee seems to be amazed to see Kang here, and our hero laments that they are both represented by the same company. He asks Lee why he's here instead of streaming, but is told that it's simply because Lee doesn't like the current apocalypse. The successful star is eager to know which level Kang has reached, but our hero remembers that Lee is known for forcing young talent to sign under him, only to have their debts increase. This eventually led to a lot of people abandoning Lee and his company. Now, Lee puts his hand on Kang's shoulder and demands to know what's on his mind. He even offers better terms on their contract together, but Kang reminds him that the world has changed. He proceeds to give Lee a smash on his face to get revenge for cheating him earlier in their contract. Lee's tooth falls to the ground, and he starts coughing in pain. Kang feels good about this, and anticipates the special item to make an appearance soon. He looks behind and notices a fountain that is bubbling with extra energy. The fountain unleashes all its water and gives birth to a giant, holy tree that grows to full form in almost no time. This tree is revealed to be the mangrove of greed from the Tower of Trails, and Kang can't believe that this is actually happening. He tries to convince himself that this is not a dream, and then the mangrove grows a bunch of apples. These apples are known to increase a player's strength and stats simply if they are eaten. Kang realizes the importance of these apples, but also identifies that there are only 4 of them that are available. There are way too many people present over here, so things get intense almost immediately. Everyone tries to climb the mangrove tree, hoping to get their hands on one of the apples. This eventually turns into an ugly sequence, as the people lose their humanity and start fighting with each other over these apples. Lee sadly tells Kang that they don't stand a chance at gaining access to these apples, because they were busy fighting each other rather than working together. However, Kang reminds him to stay in his zone, because he knows exactly what he's going to do. The competition gets intense as the people start climbing the tree while still fighting each other. A man in a suit plucks one of the apples and takes a nice bite out of it, but foolishly declares what he has done in front of the others. He might have gotten some extra agility, but then things get dangerous, and the tree starts attacking the players. Kang doesn't look worried at all, because he's a hardcore gamer who enjoys this kind of deadly process. Realizing that they don't stand a chance against such a deadly tree, most of the people run away from the scene. Including them is Lee, who doesn't want to risk his life right now. Kang simply mocks him for giving up so easily. He even says that the real reward of the event can only be obtained if the apple is eaten. Lee can't believe what Kang is telling him, but our hero maintains that he is serious about continuing the challenge. Lee realizes that Kang was actually waiting for everyone to run away first, so that he wouldn't have any obstacles in his way. Now, Lee is motivated to go for the prize himself, so he decides to join Kang, but only after figuring what his plan of action is. Kang reveals that the main aim is to get close to the apples. Moving one by one isn't going to do them any favors, so it would be better if both men approached the mangrove tree from opposite ends at the same time. The stakes are quite high, as one wrong move can spell the end of the road for both men. But Lee is confident in his abilities, because he also used to spend a lot of time playing this game. The players get into position and take off at lightning-fast speed in order to distract the mangrove tree. An intense sequence follows as the tree whips out all its branches and brutally attacks the men. Kang is able to dodge the attacks, but can't spot Lee anywhere near him. That's when it is revealed that Lee never ran in the first place, because he wanted to use Kang as bait. However, the joke is on him, because Kang was anticipating this. He knew Lee would betray him, and it works perfectly because the tree's branches go for Lee after missing Kang. The branches wrap around Lee and crush him, while Kang runs towards the apples. Lee cries out for help, but Kang insults him by saying he deserves to die for all the wrongdoing he has caused to all the gamers under contract to him. It's a sad and pathetic end to the hotshot hunk, as he is smashed to pieces by the branches. Kang doesn't even cry a tear of remorse for his rival and rushes towards the apples to complete his mission. The tree fires more branches at him, but he anticipates the attack and dodges them in a way that the branches attack each other and eventually hit the tree's core as well. Kang's plan works to perfection, as the mangrove tree stabs itself and reveals its own beating heart. Kang is happy that everything is happening just like it would in the game, so he picks up one of the broken branches and asks the tree to just hand over its heart, because Kang isn't going to gain any useful XP from killing it. The mangrove monster doesn't want to give up, so it lets out a roar and unleashes its blood-sucking vine attack. Kang realizes that he won't be able to dodge such a brutal attack, so he uses the broken branch to fight back as a countermeasure. He manages to deflect all the blows with his impressive skills, and it angers the tree, so it unites all its branches into one and directs them at our hero. Despite this, Kang is still able to hold off the attack and puts on a splendid display with impressive moves. He is determined not to give up and brings a smile to his face as he anticipates the next branch attack. This is because he has already played this part countless times and is not going to lose so easily. Like, share, and subscribe if you want me to continue this story. Hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Okay then, I'll see you in the next one.